very much, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm delighted to have an opportunity to speak to you. I work at IBM Research in the United States, and I've been in India for a couple of weeks. But I also did an overseas assignment in India 3 years ago for Excel, or मैं थोड़ी हिंदी बोलती हूँ और मैं हिंदी सीख रही हूँ. And I'm in a group now, I'm in a department now that's focusing on education transformation in IBM Research. So we're looking at this now from a research perspective. We recognize that education is increasingly moving to digital, and that's also a business imperative. And so this always creates opportunities for an entity like IBM Research, where we do so much work in data and analytics. And so we've gotten very serious in addressing this space. I'm in the IBM Watson lab in the US, but the primary hub of this education transformation technical work is happening in India. And I think recognizing the imperative of education transformation worldwide, it's a worldwide initiative, but India in particular. And so some of our market research, we were just looking at information out there, and one of the items that we found is that given the size of the Indian population, by 2020, in order to accommodate the Indian population, India would need 800 more universities. There are 350 now. So obviously something needs to happen outside and different than the current model of just building buildings, and the need for online education becomes critical. And once you have online education, you could do all of this other stuff, which is what IBM is focusing on in terms of personalizing the education. And I'll talk about that in a second. But also I wanted to mention to you all, and I hope to see all of you, the reason I'm here now is we are doing a workshop at the IBM Research Lab on February 27th and 28th on transforming education. And we brought in leaders from all over the world, including a lot of the senior leadership from IBM, to talk about this online revolution and how it's going to transform education. We even have, if you're familiar with Coursera, and Andrew Ng, he is one of our speakers as well, the founder of Coursera. He's the only one that we allowed to participate remotely, because I figured since he does this online, it would be inappropriate to demand that he be physically present. But we have speakers, leaders in education from Africa, from Brazil, and again, it's on the IBM Research Campus in Basson, February 27th and 28th, and I look forward to seeing all of you. IBM brings a lot of the technical expertise, but we are looking forward to getting much more information from people who are actually on the field in education and establishing these sorts of partnerships. So we left some brochures on the front desk that are available for you to take. I'll give a little bit of background in terms of what IBM is doing in the education transformation space. The big focus is on personalized education. Education does not need to be one size fits all. And so we have an effort of the IBM research team working on first, getting deep information about students through a student information hub. So having a good longitudinal view of his problems, how are they doing on exams, what is their background, anything that you can get, and that remains with the student for life. On the other side, we have a learning content hub, which takes the learning materials and does very deep meta tagging. So you don't just know that this is information about geometry, you also know what subject it covers in detail, whether it's appropriate for somebody with a 7th grade reading level or a 6th grade reading level. Is it better for a visual learner or an auditory learner? And then once you do better matches, you know about the student, you know about the learning material. We could do things like say, other students that look just like you in terms of their reading levels and, you know, their desires and so on, did best with this type of learning material. So you could do a much more personalized mapping. So we're doing that actually in the United States with one of the major public school districts in Georgia. You know, so they're doing an advanced pilot with us. Our next step is also we're looking at career pathways. So most of us, you know, what used to happen, you get educated and you find a job, is getting more difficult. You know, corporations, industry, employers want a very specific set of skills. So we're using all of this personalization to do a better job of matching people to careers. Guiding a student, we already see this is what you're good at, this is what you like, these are the clubs you belong to, here are some recommendations, plus we know what's happening in the marketplace. Here are the 14 career clusters that are popular, and here's what they're looking for, and here's advice and guidance so that you get better prepared for the marketplace. And then finally, we're also working on Watson for education. It was a big deal in the US, the Watson computer that competed on the Jeopardy game show. It's basically a cognitive computer that can do question answer and think like a human. So the idea is, can we apply that to education so students have basically a full-time tutor? So you can imagine working with publishers, and now the student could ask the machine questions. The machine can either provide an answer, or it can provide a piece of the answer so that gradually the student is able to get the full answer themselves. So the IBM piece, we will be presenting about on all of these technologies at the workshop next Thursday and Friday, along with you know, all of these other, you know, luminaries that are coming in. We have John Baker, the chairman of a learning management company, Desire to Learn, as our keynote speaker. So again, I invite you all to participate, and you know, look forward to meeting you there. Brochures are on the front table, and I'm very grateful that you gave me this opportunity to talk about it. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.